Hey, what up guys? Nowak Outdoors here. Today we are gonna get out, take a little break from the deer hunting and get out and do a little ice fishing here on the pond. So I actually came out last night and got my hut all set up in the snow, but no, my pond's kind of hard to tell with all the snow, but just kind of a ravine that they dammed off here. It's obviously shallower towards towards the point and deeper here at the levee. So probably where the hut's at is probably close to the deepest spot. It's probably 10-11 foot deep when it's got some water in it, and then there's probably 2 or 3 foot of weeds on the bottom. That's one thing I always struggle with this pond, is the weeds problem. So I'm gonna get all situated in there and hopefully catch some fish. Let's rock. Well guys, I was just trying to get all my equipment set up and get my jig in front of my camera, and caught a bluegill on a bear jig, no waxworm. So they definitely must be hungry. So hopefully I got it all set up now and get you guys seeing what I'm seeing. Okay guys, all I got on is a real small kind of finesse jig. It's just kind of a black and green sparkly, I can't remember all the sizes of these things, but it's pretty on the smaller side of jigs for sure. It's actually pretty small. Even my waxy's gonna take up most of the space on it, so might switch. Last night I came out here and set the tent up, and I just had plastics on, and I was doing pretty good with those too. So if they're cleaning my waxies too quick, I might end up going to the plastics. But yeah, they are hungry. Not a bad bluegill, a little medium size. See if I can get my waxworm back from him. Sucker doesn't want to give it up. But not too bad. I'm sure I'll catch here today at some point. I should catch, there's some pretty nice bass in here. A lot of first year, been here for I think 3 years now. The first year there was a ton of rock bass, and then it switched over to gosh, I can't even think, bass. They must have had a really good spawn year. Just tons of little 4 to 6 inch bass. Probably took a couple hundred of them out of here. It's just a constant balance, trying to figure out what you got and what you need to take out. I think a lot of people, they think to get big fish they need to keep releasing and putting them back, but I think that's the worst thing for a pond. I think you constantly got to be pulling out of it, keep the food supply up to get big fish. I try to let my real big fish go, big bass, big bluegill. And then if I'm going to keep fish, I try to take that kind of medium size out. I think every year too I've been stocking a few grass carp in every year. Well, I think last year I ended up doing like 5 or 8 of them. And then some red ear bluegills and catfish. But catfish, I think I've only ever caught one out of here. I know they're in here, but during the summer months it gets really weedy in here. Gets pretty hard to fish around July. There's not much you can throw a frog for bass, but that's about it. So it's kind of hard to catch them. So there should, ideally, if they're all surviving, there should be some nice ones in here, but that would be sweet. Cherry on top to catch one through the ice today. Here comes one. That looks like a bass. Oh, he thought about it. Oh, here he comes again. No. Here comes some bluegills and a bass. The bass just keeps on. There we go. Another bluegill. Not too bad of bluegills. Hopefully, there is some real big ones in here I've caught. They're just kind of, I'd say 1 out of 15 is a real big bluegill, but nothing too crazy. Fun to catch though. They're a lot bigger than they could be. There is, I've threw a handful of crappie in here, and every once in a while you'll catch one. The springtime I was catching them, but there's some pretty good crappie in here. Just I don't think there's many of them. I'm running for running Vexlar. I think it's just the FL8. It seems to do pretty good for farm ponds. That was actually the first electronic fishing device I bought, really. And then I got underwater camera here, the Markham. I don't know which model it is, but it's probably got like a 4 or 6 inch screen or something on it. But there's my jig. Oh, there's one right away. Ah. Damn it, missed that one. Which a lot of times when you get your jig right in front of this camera like this, you really don't even need the flasher. I kind of use it more standalone if I don't want to run the camera. Here comes a nice bluegill. Looks maybe like a red ear. 2 of them. Here we go. But this camera, guys, is super nice when the fish are finicky and they're not biting hard. Most of the time I don't even run bobbers. Yep, this is a red ear. These things, if you leave them and they got plenty of food, man, they get huge. But they're good. They say if you got parasites in your pond, like the little black specks or grubs, those will eat the snails, and then the snails are like a symbiotic carrier for the parasites. So if you get rid of your snails, you get rid of your parasites, ideally. Man, that one coming hot. There. Here it comes again. Ah, oh, got off. Damn it. Oh, here comes a bass. A little dinky one. These are about the size of bass that I've been trying to dwindle down. I think it was last year or the year before. Man, I had to get rid of a bunch of those, but they're about that size. Seemed like after them rock bass, that's kind of what took over, is small bass. They must have had a good spawn year. There are getting to be quite a few big bass in here though too, so that's kind of nice. I think that'll help keep my bluegills in check. Jeez. They are definitely hungry today. Here we go. Another medium bluegill. I'm not going to do it today because I don't feel like messing with cleaning fish, but I'm probably going to try to take out quite a few of them size bluegill, the medium ones. It's always nice to get a nice little fish fry here in the winter time. Yeah, there's another one. The only thing I don't like about bluegills is unless they're monster bluegills, you don't get a whole lot of meat off of them. It's a lot of work for a little fish chip. Already got fish down there. And one thing too, if I have a hard time just catching a lot of small ones, I usually switch to a little bit bigger. This one's hitting on the way down. Yeah, I might have to switch to a little bigger jig, or go to like a spoon, like a Swedish pimple or something. A lot of times that'll kind of maybe weed out some of these tiny ones. Still fun to catch. I'd rather be catching a ton of these than nothing. Man, that's a tiny one. Oh, did that sucker just take my waxy? Nope, I got him. Oh, I got him, my camera. Oh, sucker. Well, sucker's got some girth to him. Another nice one. Get me a waxy. I've used most of the time I go with waxies. I've had to use night crawlers before, little chunks of them, just because I couldn't find waxies, and they work, but they're just not as ideal. And then I've been up to you can't really find them around here, but when I go up to northeast Iowa fishing, you can find, I think they call them spikes, and they're kind of like a miniature waxworm almost, I'd say. They look a lot like them. They're just quarter or half the size. And that would probably be more ideal for the little tiny jig I'm running. Oh, damn it. And he stole my whole waxworm. Yeah, you got a fresh one there. There's two of them just waiting down there. There's a dinky one. I'm gonna try to avoid him. Oh my gosh. That's a nice thing about this camera too. You can try to avoid the little ones biting it. Do not want that little guy biting it. Man, there's a lot of them down there. Pretty fish. I noticed these fish in this pond, since I think since it has weeds and such clear water, they got some good color to them. They're not real. I've fished some muddy ponds before, back waters or rivers, and the fish don't have much color to them. It's pretty bland. I'm just turning my Vexlar off. Fishing about 2 or 3 foot off the bottom. There actually ain't a ton of weeds right here. Oh, that's a nice bluegill. That's probably the biggest one so far today. Got some good size to it. And guys, I do got big hands, so you gotta you gotta count on the bluegills are actually they're a little better than they look in my hand. Here comes one. You sucker. Got tangled up in my camera cord. That is the only thing that sucks, is when they get tangled up in your camera. Gosh dang it. A tiny one, don't want that one. Another tiny one. Gosh dang it. Definitely a lot of bluegills. It's like playing keep away. Another dinky. I do not got much of a waxworm on there, but actually just fell off. I'll put a fresh one on. This fishing pole I'm using, guys, is, I think they call it like it's the radioactive pickle. It's made by 13. It's got like the ultra sensitive tip on it, and it's probably my favorite pole. I think I've had it for probably 4 years now at least, and it's kind of my go-to. I've got some big fish on it, bass, and it handles them pretty good. It's got the inline, so you just push this little button here and then it comes unraveling. It's kind of hard with a small jig like this. There ain't much weight there. I always try to run tungsten jigs. That kind of helps a little bit, a little extra weight. There's one of my wax worms falling down in front of the camera. Here comes a little tiny bluegill. Comes another one. Missed him. There we go. Come back for a third time. Just a little guy. That one actually is little, guys. Man, that is a super tiny bluegill right there. We definitely... That's a waxworm stealer there. bigger one there. There we go. Pretty good little bluegill. They look good and healthy though. They got some width to them, and sometimes you get bluegills that are, when there's too many of them, which I think I'm getting there, but I need to, they start to get real skinny and there definitely ain't much meat to them. You can always tell when you start to get some big bluegills though, because when they start to get four heads and they get more real, instead of elongated, they're real circular. There's a few of those in here, I know. It's just a matter of weeding through all these little ones. There's another one of my old waxies floating down. Go. It's definitely nice. It seems like this early ice like this, they bite pretty good. You start to get later in the year, they seem a little more finicky, but these ones are definitely, you could probably catch these pretty easy with a bobber. So that's what I might do here in a minute. Move up, put a spoon on or something, see if I can catch something a little bigger. I might do that right now. You guys probably see my custom vent holes here, courteous of the mice in my garage. It's always nice to find when you take your tent out. Okay. Crank the heat. This is a little bigger jig here. It's our spoon, I should say. It's got little rattles in it. These are usually good for bass, catfish, and crappie. And then if you're gonna catch a bluegill on it, it's usually a good bluegill, but as hungry as these ones are today, probably gonna get some little ones too. Tip it with a waxy. Send her down. Try this for a bit, see if this gets us anything cool. There's the jig. Oh my gosh. Right away, big old, I wouldn't say big bluegill, little tiny things. Gosh dang it. Well, maybe I lied, guys. Maybe all these little tiny bluegills are still gonna eat this. Got one on my pole I just set down there. That might be the smallest one for the day. I didn't even have that one. I had that one probably 3-4 foot under the ice there, so. They are definitely hungry today. We just had a snow come in last night. Here comes another one. He about ripped my waxy off. Comes a bass, a little tiny bass. Just a little guy. bluegill. Sucker. Oh, here came a bass after it. Jeez, that bass is crazy. Jeez. Crazy. See, he comes back for another time. Yeah, see if I can catch a bear hook on here. That's a nice bluegill. Yeah, better hurry up. Put a waxy on. I did see in the forecast there's some right here before Christmas. It's gonna kind of warm up to I think upper 30s or 40s, so that might kind of rough the ice up a little bit, but hopefully we got a cold weekend here ahead of us, so should make some good ice, and then hopefully we can weather through the dang, got one on this one. Oh shit, got one on that one. I think we got a bigger bass finally. Had a bigger bass. Yeah. Got the bluegill and did not get the bass. Probably a 12-inch bass, nothing crazy, but there's a bluegill here. I just got this pole just sitting over here, kind of shallow, just dead sticking, nothing crazy, but they're hitting it. Yeah, I seen my one pole going down, and then I look over and there's a bass with my spoon in his mouth. Okay, let's get back down there. A little bluegill. Just hit him in the face. Okay, he's coming back for more. There's a bass trying to come for it. We'll take the bass, hopefully. Yeah. Wrong part there, buddy. Bass is still there. Little guy. A lot of bluegills. Yeah, the underwater camera's neat though. You can sit there and watch them fish all day. Even if they're not biting, it kind of gives you some entertainment. That one was gonna try it, and he got my waxworm. Yeah, I've been trying to look Farm Fleet, different Casey's stores, trying to find waxworms, and if they do have them, they've been pretty nasty. I feel like they're probably about a year old or at least from early summer or something, but I ended up finding some. If you guys are in the area, I guess, and looking for them, in Mediapolis, Iowa, Pro Marine, they seem to have a pretty good stock of waxworms that they keep up on here through the winter months. And geez, I got one on the way down, I guess. I was wondering why my line wasn't stopping. Bass, I'm getting tangled up in this one. Sucker hit it on the way down. Quit moving, buddy. I just kept letting the line out. I was like, man, why am I not getting down to my camera? A little bit bigger bass. Still not what we're looking for. He's got me so tangled up in my other pole. Got it. Put a fresh waxy on. Okay. We'll get this one down there and get this one back straightened out. Bunch of bluegills down there. Yeah, I'd really like to see a crappie or a big bass come out of here, but I think there's like 5 or 6 bluegills right there in the camera. Got one on this one. Nice bluegill. That one. Pretty non-stop here. Looks like been out here, I feel like for a half hour probably now, and caught a lot of bluegills. And while it was sitting down there, they cleaned me on this one. Okay. Back with 2 poles running here. It's nice though when I noticed my bluegill population started to take off good. The bass started to get a lot better size to them, and this summer I caught quite a few real nice ones. Little waxworm stealer there. Two of them trying to get it. Getting a bite on this one. There's a bigger bluegill there in the background. See if we can get him up here. Come on, take it, big boy. There we go. Nice bluegill. One's about the size of my bait, trying to take my waxworm. There's a nice bluegill. I missed him. Couple dings. Yeah, I might move here and see if I can't find something a little better size-wise, or crappies maybe. I know a lot of times I see with crappies they'll hang out a little higher in the water column. Usually bluegills, it seems like they're in that bottom 3 foot, or kind of right up off the bottom. Usually is a pretty safe bet, and then it seems like crappies will hang out kind of above them somewhere. So okay, so this one's been slow. There we get one. And they stole my wax ring wall. Looks like there might be something big in the bottom left of the screen. Nope, just a little tiny bluegill coming out. Little bass. Well guys, I think I am gonna make a move. See if we can't find something a little different or a little better, I guess. Okay guys, just got situated here. I moved probably 20 yards to kind of, I wouldn't say deeper, but there's less weeds here, so there's more water column, I would say. But I definitely got a bluegill problem because I just dropped my camera down there and there's like, I think I had probably 8 or 10 of them on the screen. We're gonna go with spoon over here too, because I do see a lot of little bluegills down there. Hopefully try to weed out some of those tiny ones. I can see a few strands of weeds coming up, so there's good structure there. Yeah, there are some ferocious little guys down there. Gosh dang it. Trying to avoid catching that little one, and he stole my waxy. Yeah, I don't know. Probably my plan here then for one of these days when I do feel like keeping them. Hope to probably keep 50 to 100 of them at least out of this winter here. Nice red ear. It's a good fish. Gosh dang it. Bass down there. Man, it's like as soon as my bait gets down there, it's bluegills go nuts. It's just hard keeping them away. Not that I don't want to catch fish, I just like to try to get some of the bigger ones. Oh. waxy on there and they're going for it. I need to get a waxy on it. Man, there's a pile of fish down there, guys. You sucker, he's got my waxy. Jeez. It's a pretty big bait that these bluegills are going after, guys. I think there's just such a huge population of them that they're probably, food might be scarce, or it's either that or it's just one of the days when they'll bite anything. I think too with ice fishing, guys, the weather has a lot to do with it. Time of day, color, obviously your jigs, but I don't know if that, we got like 2 inches of snow last night. I don't know if that's what the game changer is, or like I said, maybe they're just that hungry. Bass just missed the hook. And the bluegill took my worm. Yeah, I got a little bit left on there. You missed it, buddy. It's a nice bluegill. Take it, buddy. Ah, you sucker. There we go. Like I said, they're not really, probably 50% of them you could probably keep, honestly. They're not going to give you huge fillets, but they're big enough that it's worth cleaning. Jeez. Another one. Okay. A little dank. Gosh dang it. Had them up to the edge. You know they're biting good when you can't even, when you're trying to avoid catching them, when you're catching them. This would be a good kind of ice fishing for kids. You just sit out here and hammer them all day. It's probably almost close to 10 or 11 right now. Yeah, we'll try to catch this one. There we go. Not too shabby. Bass just came up and he's got the wrong end of it. Well guys, looks like I got about 7 minutes of battery life left, and that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you guys like these. Ice fishing's pretty easy to film these, and it's kind of cool to see on the underwater camera. So I'll usually try to get out and try some public spots and river bottom washouts and stuff like that. So thanks for tuning in guys, and make sure to like and subscribe.